comes to addictions. Pornography is known as what's called a supernormal stimulus. It's something that delivers this concentrated payload of novelty, variety, and overall visual stimulation that us humans have never actually evolved to ever prepare for. Our hardware up here, dude, it's stuck in the freaking, man, I don't even know when the last time we had a species-wide brain update, but we haven't gotten the resistance to pornography update quite yet. So it's not able to handle pornography at the rate that it can deliver dopamine. So let's talk about what happens with those two things, with the receptors and the gray matter. With the D2 receptors, okay, you have all of these little loading docks and all the dopamine that gets released. The brain has created a safety mechanism where over time, as dopamine keeps flooding these docks, the molecules or the receptors will eventually die because they're just overused. And so to protect themselves, for the brain to actually protect itself, it says, okay, well, we don't want all of these receptors to die, so what we're going to do is actually take some away. So instead of 5 here, we'll take off 3, and so now there's only 2. The same amount of dopamine here is getting released, but now there's only 2, okay? And so you don't feel as much. Now this is going to create what's called a muted baseline. So that's why things like the things that used to bring you joy, like just think about it for a second. The things that used to bring you satisfaction in life. If you're struggling with pornography, odds are those things that did bring you satisfaction don't bring you as much satisfaction anymore, if any. And this is because the amount of dopamine that, like going for a walk outside or even playing some video games, the amount of dopamine that those activities release doesn't compare to pornography. And so now you only have these 2 loading docks, these 2 D2 docks, okay, these dopamine receptors, and you have these little spurts of dopamine that are released when you read, when you have a great conversation with a real person, when you go for a walk. But you have a hard time feeling any of that because there are very little receptors left because the brain's gone into lockdown mode with your dopamine receptors. Now, this is really important because it brings us to the gray matter.